Madam Tate seems to like to correct the record here, but unfortunately doesn't ensure that the record is corrected for the sake of the Canadian public, who is investing $1.4 billion taxpayer dollars annually into the CBC, and of course wanting unbiased and reliable news coverage. She stated that trust is of utmost importance, but obviously telling the truth doesn't fit into her definition of gaining the Canadians' trust. Jesus. My question for Ms.
The CBC executive is so biased. You can tell how she smirks when she's talking to liberals, and her tone and look, how she talks when she's talking to conservatives. And then just shows her ultimate bias by saying God's name in vain, because she doesn't really care about Christians. Let's see more.
A concern? Do we wish to sue any political party? Absolutely not. But we absolutely have to protect not only the appearance of independence, but the reality of independence. And so, therefore, we will always protect that journalism.
Well, not all political parties, just some. Madam Thomas?
Through you, Mr. Chair, Madam Tate seems to like to correct the record here, but unfortunately doesn't ensure that the record is corrected for the sake of the Canadian public, who is investing $1.4 billion taxpayer dollars annually into the CBC, and of course wanting unbiased and reliable news coverage. She stated that trust is of utmost importance, but obviously telling the truth doesn't fit into her definition of gaining the Canadians' trust. Jesus. My question for Ms. Tate is this.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, point of order. Just a point of order on this. I just want to be clear with what I heard. I believe Ms. Thomas accused the witness of lying, and I just want to make sure that that's not what happened, because if it is, I think you as the chair, I would humbly request that you perhaps ask Ms. Thomas to take back her words and to reconsider what she is saying.
Madame Thomas, est-ce que vous avez entendu?
Ms. Thomas, did you hear the request by your colleague, Mr. Noor Mohammed? Would you retract your words and to perhaps change your approach a little bit in your question?
Thank you, Chair. The question that I have for Ms. Tate is to do with my colleague, Ms. Lansman.
Monsieur Julian, un point de rappel.
Mr. Julian, please.
Has a long experience. She knows what she just said was incredibly unparliamentary, inappropriate for this committee, inappropriate in every way. And so, yes, you have asked her to retract, and I believe she should. This is a parliamentary committee. It's not some kind of street brawl, and it is really unfortunate. I know the Conservatives are frustrated because
Merci, Monsieur Julian.
They have been saying things that are...
Thank you, Mr. Julian. Mrs. Thomas, yes, I would ask you to please use the words that you used, and I think that it was not very parliamentary of you in your approach to her. Thank you. You have a couple of minutes left.
Thank you, Mr. Shampoo. Of course, that was not what I was intending to say, but the Censorship Coalition, of course, will try to silence my voice and interrupt as much as possible. With regards to Ms. Lansman's question concerning the lawsuit that was put out by the CBC or undertaken by the CBC toward the end of the 2019 election, it seems like a bit of a suspicious time to launch that. Nevertheless, it was unsuccessful. The courts did, in fact, determine that it was within the right of the Conservative Party of Canada to take footage provided by a public broadcaster and to use it within its frame of reference. And so I wonder then, why on earth would the public broadcaster, the CBC, undertake this case only a few days before the end of an election? I mean, right in the middle of a federal election, when in fact the CBC claims to want to be independent and truthful and to function with integrity. That doesn't seem to be the case in this instance. Again, the court has determined that the CPC, the Conservative Party of Canada, was in the right to use this footage. Was this just gamesmanship on behalf of the CBC?
I just would like to clarify. I would like to clarify that this is not the only political party that we have had to take action on. It went further than any.
Mr. Chair, I would just ask that you would kindly ask the witness to answer the question.
Madame Thomas, je vais accorder quelques...
Ms. Thomas, I will just give a few more seconds to Ms. Tate, but your time is up.
Said the political case or the legal case in the case of the Conservative Party is not the only time that we've had to take injunctions. We've done that to the NDP and to the Liberal Party as well. We are here to protect our journalism.
Mr. Chair, it was in the middle of an election.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
She's pissing on everyone's leg and telling us it's raining. We know the CBC is biased for the Liberals, and she's trying to pretend it's not. They sued the Conservatives in the middle of an election. They didn't sue anyone else. They didn't say anything else. All of their reporting is heavily Liberal biased and woke.